Hello everyone, this is Sonia from Smart Moms. Smart Moms is a platform for mothers to learn, share and connect. We have with us Mrs Deepak Kalra, who has been taking care of children with special needs since 30 years. Hers is a story of courage, and she has established Umang in 2006, which is Rajasthan's first organization for children with brain damage. She is a reputed and experienced professional and has headed numerous national level projects. She has won Nargis Dutt Memorial National Award and State Bhaskar Women of the Year Award for her contribution and efforts for supporting and caring for children with special needs. Welcome to Smart Moms, Mrs Deepak Kalra. It's an honor for me to be interviewing you today. Please tell us more about yourself and your family.
First of all, Sonia, thank you so much for having me on this show, and I would like to congratulate you for having a website like this where you give an opportunity to mothers like us to get to know each other. I think everybody's story, sharing one's experiences really gives us a lot of strength. My story began in 1982 when I was actually a lecturer at that time at Bombay University, and I had a baby boy. And I learned that he had brain damage at the time of birth, which led to lifelong disability. It was a big shock in the beginning. It took me a long time to even accept that. I just thought, it would be something temporary and he would get out of it. But after I stopped fooling myself for almost 6 months, I took him to various hospitals and to various doctors. It was a very, very challenging time for the whole family. But it was really wonderful to have so much family support. And I think my husband was really the main, the pillar of support for me. And he kept on telling me, so what if we have it, so what if he cannot do so many things? As parents, we can give him what every parent gives to their child. And so that's how our life began. I thought if we had to give him everything that any parent would give to any child, I need to know more about what we can give him. And so I trained myself in this field and at the Spastic Society of India, Bombay, and worked with them for 11 years. Later, I even went to USA for my training, and so many people helped me grow. But that really gave us a new life to me and my son. And he started going to the school which gave all services under one roof. He needed physiotherapy, he needed speech therapy, he needed mobility training, he needed remediation, he needed special education, and it was such a blessing for us to be able to come to an institute like this where he got total rehabilitation. So I decided, this was in Bombay and my husband is in the army. So he kept moving from place to place, but it was a very difficult decision for us because 30 years ago, there were very few places that had facilities for such severe disabilities. So we both took a joint decision that he would carry on with his postings and I would stay in Bombay. I got a lot of support from my family. My mother, my mother-in-law, my sister would take turns to come and stay with me because Vikram did have a lot of physical problems too. He would get recurring pneumonias and gastroenteritis and needed frequent hospitalization. He was highly epileptic. But I think this brought all of us so close, and with support of everybody, with their love, we could cope with everything. And that was the first step of our life. After that, again, we had a little baby girl, Shifali, and my husband wanted to spend time with her, so we decided to move from Bombay to be with him wherever he was. That brought us to Jaipur. It was actually supposed to be only for 2 years, 2 to 3 years, but as soon as I came here, I realized that there were no services for my son. I mean, my daughter had a nursery to go to on the first day we reached here, but my son had no school, and he was so used to going to the Spastic Society. So every morning he would get up and have his bath, and then he would insist on wearing his uniform, and then he wanted his tiffin and he wanted his bus, but there was no bus and no tiffin and no school for him. So I had I had two choices, either to go back to Bombay or to stay back and start services for him, and I went for the second one. And I think I'm really glad I did that, because I have no regrets. I had to leave Bombay, which was such a comfortable zone for me, where I had a second home for both of us, as well as also professionally. There was so much that I could, I had an opportunity to do. It was a difficult decision again, but then, after seeing that there were so many children like Vikram who wanted to come out of their homes, and really had, many people didn't even realize that. When I started looking for a school for Vikram, and I went to various professionals and people from paramedical field and all. They all kept telling me, why do you need a school for children who are mentally challenged or have cerebral palsy? Why don't they stay at home? They are happy at home. And it was so difficult to even make them understand that these children need a school much more than the others. The others would still find a way to live a complete life, but these children had such limited opportunities. And, just because they're disabled, they should be denied to have the same opportunities as the others do. I kept asking them, if you have children who are able-bodied, and what if you didn't have schools for them? Would you keep them at home? They said, no, we would go to a place where there were schools. So, it started with that.
Okay.
Trying to make people understand why it was so important to have a school that catered to the special needs of these children. And then once this concept reached the people, there was so much support from the community. It was amazing. And the change in attitude over the years, I've seen a change in attitude of the people. There was so much support. Everybody came forward to give us whatever they could, their talent, their time, their financial support. So it was really, really very, very heartening, and that really helped me decide that I need to stay back here. And now I think Jaipur has become our home, and we live here forever.
Great, great.
Acceptance is again, very, very difficult. You pass through so many stages. You start off with denial. You don't want to believe that it's true, and you think it's, people have not been able to diagnose your child. Then you go on to blaming people and finding why it happened and who was responsible. And you're so angry with everybody who you think is responsible for what happened. And then you feel so helpless, and you feel so, you just can't do anything. You've got angry, you've been, you have projected all your anger, and then after that you start feeling very helpless. And then you really need to put yourself together and accept it and move forward, because unless we accept and move forward, it's not going to help anybody. It's not going to help your child. It's not going to help you or anybody. So I think the earlier we can come to this stage of acceptance, the better it is for everybody. I know it's difficult, it's not easy. So it takes time, and I think in India we have a wonderful family support. We have very few counseling services, professional institutes who would really help you get over it. But at the same time, we have such lovely families, warm families who do support. I was lucky to have one, but yeah, I do come across a lot of mothers who do not have that much support, and are normally blamed for this, and they should have faith in themselves, I would say, because they are not responsible for this. Nobody is responsible for this. Who would like to have go through this experience? So it's really sad at times. The mother's blamed. The mother-in-law finds it an excuse to get back at the daughter-in-law, or the father finds it very difficult to accept the fact that they are father of a child with disabilities. It's something that affects their ego. So some people do, a lot of families do go through a turbulent time at this. As it is, it's so difficult to cope with it yourself. and if people around you make it more difficult, it can get. And I think this would be my message to all other parents who have been able to accept and have been able to get support of a family like me. Let's all get together and support these mothers who are going through double trouble than us. Yeah. And support them at this time, and that's what made me decide to come in this field and set up these services.
Yeah. So please share your understanding of children at Umang. Would you like to share a story of any child at Umang with us?
It's all of them. They are, mostly people tell me when they are visiting Umang that, we are a little apprehensive because, we feel we may be a bit depressed, or it may be very sad to see their children. And once they come to the school and they are with these children, they are, they're so happy, and it's such a happy place because of the children. They make it such a, they are so friendly, they are so loving, they give you such selfless love. And I think it's it's really lovely to know them. There is so much zest to live. We are only being a part of their life. They are the ones who are really facing this challenge, where they take years to learn the same thing which comes to us so easily. None of us even remember how we learn to walk, or how we learn to even hold a glass of water to drink. I don't think we made any special effort. It just came to us. But for them, it's a challenge of their life. Some take years to just hold a glass of water and drink. But even after that, when they drop that glass, it's a big joke. Yeah. They can take it so, it is so amazing, this quality, to just try, not give up, and to be able to laugh at their failure even after that, after they've tried so hard. Till in 30 years, not a single child has asked me that why can other children walk and why do I have to keep on doing exercises and even then I can't walk, or why am I like this, or why has God made me like this. It's always their parents who keep saying, why did God do this to my child, why only my child, why did God choose my child, but never the parent, never the child themselves. They're very happy, they accept themselves very easily, what they are, and they want to get on with life, and they enjoy life. Even small things, like I think all of us in this mad race that we have to, in today's world, we really forget to enjoy and the small things of life. If you tell our children, just a small thing, today we won't play in our garden, we'll go to the neighboring park and play, and there's so much excitement about it. And just small things make them so happy. And I think it's a lesson we really need to learn.
Yeah, that we have become thankless.
Yes. I think we just take too many things for granted.
Yeah.
And then we find that, whatever we have, we have a number of children from mainstream schools who come to us. And you know how it is with the mainstream school, if you get 84%, you're not happy, you want 86. Those who have 86 want 90. Those who have 90 are not happy with 94. We just don't seem to be happy with what we have. Yeah. And here, they're so happy even if they have 40% and they'll just pass through, they'll bring sweets and there'll be music, there'll be celebration. It's fine. You learn to accept what you have. I think there's a lot really to learn from them every day.
That's really
all of them. Their spirit.
Yes. What is your advice for parents of children with disabilities?
See, for the very young parents who've just found out about disability, I would say that try and accept it as soon as possible, and the earlier we can start off living a life accepting the fact that our child's life is challenging, we may need to work much harder, may not get the same results, but at the same time it would be worth it. And so to get on with life and the challenges of life. For parents who are much older, there are lots of anxieties about future of the child and many other things. I think I would recommend to them that, let us all work to make our child as independent as possible. And just worrying for the future is not going to help. We can take some concrete step towards that, because and then all of us get together. I think one of the best things I feel I've had is